Dear students, welcome to today's session. In the last class, we have discussed how Swami Father came to Swami and forced Swami to go to his office room and sleep alone. Right. Then Swami looked at his mother and Granny for the help. Was there any use? It was of no use. Then Swami said to his father that there were scorpions behind the books. Okay, so but Swami requested his father for the lamp in the office room. Did his father agree? No. Swami father rejected to light the lamp in the office room. And again he put a request. Swami put a request for the door open, and Swami father agreed with a warning. What was the warning given by Swami's father? Right, if Swami came back to his granny, so Swami's father would make Swami laughing stock of his school. That means if he came back, he would make laughing stock of his school. That's what we have discussed in the last class. Right. Now let us see how Swami thought about and how Swami faced the situation. We are going to see in 10th and 11th paragraphs. And what was his opinion, how he reacted, so whether he was afraid or not, so what was his intention. Let us see here. So he in 10th and 11th paragraph. Let me read first. Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. He did not like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. He hated the newspaper for printing the tiger story. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy, who didn't appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. As the night advanced and the silence in the house deepened, his heart beat faster. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts that he had heard in his life. How often his chum Mani had seen the devil in the banyan tree at his street end. And what about poor Muniswami's father, who spat out blood because the devil near the river edge slapped his cheek when he was returning home late one night, and so on. And on his thoughts continued. He was faint with fear. A ray of light from the street lamp strayed in and cast shadows on the wall. Through the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears: the ticking of the clock, rustle of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague night insects humming. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was the instance of his old friend in the fourth class who suddenly disappeared and was said to have been carried off by a ghost to a Siam or Nepal. So the 10th and 11th paragraph. Dear students, here pause the video and once again read 10th and 11th paragraph and underline the tough words to know the meanings. Okay, so let us see here. So there are some words I have underlined here. I didn't. Chum. What is the meaning of chum here? Chum here. How often his chum Mani has seen chum? The meaning of chum. Chum here. Chum. Here you can see chum. And here vague, humming, breathe. So breathe, breathe, breath. How do we pronounce breath and breath? Breathe and breath. Breath is a breathe and breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. What is the meaning of breathe here? It is a verb. So if e is there, we have to pronounce th is here as da sound. Breathe. Say once again, breathe. What is the meaning of here? What is the meaning of breathe here? We can consider as here a verb. The meaning is the process of inhaling and exhaling. What is the meaning here? The process of inhaling and exhaling. Right. So breathe. Breath, breath, breath. What is the meaning of breath? Breath here is noun. So in public examination, there will be one question from parts of speech. Actually, noun form or verb form will be given. They will ask you to change whether noun form or verb form, and they will ask you to frame a sentence. Let us, for example, breathe, breathe. Right. Breathe is a verb here, breath is a noun form. So, for example, in the examination, breath will be given as a noun form, and they will ask you to change into a verb form and write the sentence on your own. So here breath is given, and what is the verb form of breath? Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you know the difference between verb and noun, then you can answer it. Here breathe is a verb. Understood? The process of inhaling and exhaling. Breath is here a full cycle of breathing. So now, what is the meaning of vague here? Vague. Vague means not clear. What is the meaning of vague? Vague means it's not clear. Let me give you one sentence on vague. For example, it is a vague concept. That means it is not a clear concept. Right. Now, humming, humming, humming. Humming means here making some sounds. Here insects are making sounds. Right. Insects are making here sounds. Right. Now, right. Swami felt cut off humanity. Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. He did not like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. He hated newspaper for printing the tiger story. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy, who didn't appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. So now here, Swami was afraid. He was very much afraid. Then he felt that here in this paragraph, Swami felt that there was no humanity, and he was very much angry and he was pained. Right. He did not understand his father's nature, and he hates his father's nature, and he hates his father being his cruel attitude here, cruel nature. So actually, what was his father intention? His father intention is to teach him a lesson, right? To make him a bold person, right? So now here, he hated newspaper for printing the tiger story. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy, who did not appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. Swami was afraid and hurt at being left alone. He hated the paper. Here he hated the paper for printing the tiger story. He hated the paper for printing the tiger story. He was very much angry with the boy who was brave enough to face the tiger. He was very much angry. To whom he was very much angry upon? He was very much angry at the boy, at newspaper story, the bravery act of a village lad. He hated the boy, right? He felt, how did he feel here? He felt that if the tiger had not spared the boy, he felt that if the tiger had not spared the boy, he would not have been in the office room sleeping all alone. That's what. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy. He wished the tiger would have killed the boy. But the tiger did not kill the boy here. He wished. Who wished? Swami wished that the tiger had not spared the boy, who didn't appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. He was not at all a boy. So here the boy appears to Swami how he was not a boy at all. How did he seem? So the boy, the village boy, seems to Swami as a monster. As a monster. Right. Now, as the night advanced and the silence in the house deepened, his heart beat faster. So he left alone in the office room. As the night advanced, as the night coming, and the silence in the house deepened. There was complete silence in the night, right? So there was a silence. The house complete. It was deepened. His heart beat faster. His heart beat faster. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts he had heard in his life. Right. So now here, as the night advanced and the silence deepened, he remembered the scary stories of the devils and ghost stories he heard throughout his life. Right. How often his chum? Chum means what? A good friend. What is the meaning of chum here? A good friend. How often his chum Mani? In the beginning, I told you, right? Swami had very good friends. Among them, one of them is Mani. Mani had seen the devil in the banyan tree and at his street end. So Mani used to tell him that I saw a ghost in the banyan tree and at the street end. And what about poor Muniswami's father? Muniswami's father, right? He spat out blood because the devil near the river edge slapped his cheek when he was returning home late one night. When Muniswami's father coming late night, so what? The devil at the river edge slapped his cheek. Then what happened to Muniswami? So he spat out blood, right, when he was returning home, and so on. And on his thoughts continued. He was faint with fear when he recollected all the stories, his thoughts, and so he was faint with fear. A ray of light from the street lamp strayed in and cast shadows on the wall. Though the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears, the ticking of the clock, rustles of the trees. Rustle means what? It's also sound, some kind of sounds, right? So here, how the night. So for example, the night here. So complete stillness. There was complete silence. Stillness means here silence. So though the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears, even though the night was complete in a silent mode, in a silent way, all kinds of noise he was able to hear, right? So the ticking of the clock also, it makes him feel fear, right? Rustle of trees, the sounds of the trees, snoring sounds, some vague insects. So in the night he was not able to see the insects, some vague insects humming, they are humming. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe. So he covered himself completely, so he could hardly breathe. He was not able to breathe properly. He was not able to take the breath properly. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. Every moment he expected the devils to come there and carry him away. He imagined some devils will come here and take him away. In such a way, every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was an example of his old friend in the 4th class. So then he was able to recollect one example from his old friends from 4th class, who was suddenly disappeared. So that his fourth class friend, he was suddenly disappeared, right, and was said to have been. So there was a mouth talk that they said to have been he was carried by a ghost to Siam or Nepal. So he was able to. So these are the stories, right? So all types of sounds were clearly heard by him. All types of sounds, even though the night was stillness, in the stillness, in silence, he was able to hear all kinds of sound. Every moment he thought that he would be carried away by the devils. And he heard a story called from his old friend in the fourth class who suddenly disappeared, and he was carried by a ghost to Siam or Nepal. Right? So this right. Now let's move to 12th paragraph, right? Swami hurriedly got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. It seemed to be a much safer place, more compact and reassuring. He shut eyes tight and encased himself in his blanket once again, and unknown to himself fell asleep, and in sleep was racked with nightmares. A tiger was chasing him. His feet stuck to the ground. He desperately tried to escape, but his feet would not move. The tiger was at his back, and he could hear a claw scratch the ground. Scratch, scratch, and then a loud thud. Swami tried to open his eyes, but his eyelids would not open, and the nightmare continued. It threatened to continue forever. Swami groaned in despair. Right? Swami. Swami. So here underline the tough words in the 12th paragraph. Here crouched, encased, desperately, threatened, right? Crouched, encased, desperately, threatened, right? So what is the meaning of crouch here? Lower the body close to the ground. That means lower the body close to the ground. So he went under the bench and he settled there, right? Now, encased, covered himself very closely. Encased means covered himself very closely. Racked. What is the meaning of rack here? Make someone suffer great mental pain, right? Make someone suffer great mental pain, right? Rack with nightmares, right? Desperately. What is the meaning of desperately here? So very seriously he tried to escape but his feet would not move. So he seriously, gravely, he tried to escape. Whether uh, he was able to escape or not, we'll see. Threatened. What is the meaning of threatened here? Frightened. What is the meaning of threatened here? Frightened. What is the meaning? Frightened. That means fear. Swami very hurriedly, got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. So he was very much frightened. Then what did Swami do? Swami hurriedly got up. He woke up and spread his bed under the bench. He went under the bench and he spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. Crouched there means and settle there and lower his body closely to the ground, right? So and he crouched there. It seemed to be a much safer place. It seemed to be a much safer place. More compact and reassuring, and more safe and more compact and reassuring. And he shut his eyes and encased. That means every movement in the office room makes him feel afraid, right? Then what did he do? Then he got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. Right. Then what did he do? He shut his eyes tightly and after sometimes fell asleep. Later, so that the place where he settled, he feels that more safe place and more compact and more reassuring. Then slowly he closed his eyes and he fell asleep. He fell asleep. And then when he fell asleep, and in the sleep also, he was chased by some nightmares. Some nightmares. Nightmares means dreams. Fearful dreams. So what was his dreams here? What was his dream? So in his dream, so the Swami was chasing by a tiger. Swami was being chased by a tiger. Swami was chasing. Swami was being chased by a tiger, and a tiger was chasing him. His feet stuck to the ground, and he immediately, what did he do? He tried to escape from the situation, but his feet would not move. The tiger was at his back, and he could hear it scratch the ground, right? He could hear it right? The class scratched the ground and scratch, and then a loud thud. Swami tried to open his eyes. Then what happened? Swami tried to open his eyes, right? So Swami tried to open his eyes, but his eyelids would not open, and the nightmare continued. He was trying to open his eyes, but he was not able to open his eyes, and the nightmare continued. The nightmare continued. Right, nightmare continued. Then it threatened to continue forever. Swami groaned in despair. So immediately, at any time, he saw something moving in the dark. Right. So now here, he opened his eyes. Right. Next, he was completely here. He was terrorized by nightmares and ghostly dreams, in which he was chased by many. Whatever the dreams here, he was chased by many. So that's the way he felt, right? Now, with a desperate effort, he opened his eyes. Now, let us see 13th paragraph. With a desperate effort, he opened his eyes. He put his hand out to feel his granny's presence at his side, as was his habit. But he only touched the wooden leg of the bench, and his lonely state come back to him. He sweated with fright. And now, what was the rustling? He moved to the edge of the bench and stared into the darkness. Something was moving down. He lay gazing at it in horror. His end had come. He realized that the devil would presently pull him out and tear him. And so why should he wait? As it come nearer, he crawled out from under the bench, hugged it with all his might, and used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon. So what is the meaning of rustling here? Rustling. Rustling here. What is the meaning of rustling? So make a soft and muffled crackling sound. Right. So now here 13th paragraph we'll see in the next class. Right. So until now what I explained. Right. So let us see once, recall the key points. So every moment in the office room makes him feel afraid. Makes him Swami afraid. Then he got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. He shut his eyes tightly. After some time, fell asleep. So now here he was terrorized by nightmares and in dreams, and also he was chased by the tiger. Right. So later what happened we'll see in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.